everyone. Regarding spiritual psychosis, I've been hearing a lot of folks say that when you go through spiritual psychosis, to make sure you're grounded, or you could potentially make yourself crazy. Now, I've been through spiritual psychosis, and I have a different take on it because I believe in cause and effect. The reason why I got to spiritual psychosis in the first place was going to be key to the reason why being grounded isn't always going to ensure that you're going to be safe, right? So I had figured out that where I was staying, there was a lot of black mold, right? And I ingested a lot of that black mold for a period of 5 months, right? Now, I believe that I was in the delta brainwave state in addition to the beta state, which was pretty dangerous for me because there was no getting back to just the beta state. And from my experiences, when we're in both of those states at the same time for so long, we are at serious risk of having a lot of brain damage. Now, what I experienced was a lot of what people are talking about they experience during spiritual psychosis. In addition to that, because I could never get back to the beta state alone, I would wake up sometimes and I would feel like someone was stabbing my brain. That's how serious it was. Now, I didn't know that it was the black mold. Initially, I figured it out. And when I went to the hospital and I left, I wasn't able to go back to the place that I was living in because they had not resolved the black mold issue. So it didn't matter how much I grounded. When we're in a situation where there is fumes from a potential hazard such as black mold that I was ingesting, it doesn't matter how grounded you are. You got to get yourself out of that situation, right? Because you're breathing it in and it's putting you in a very dangerous position. Now, if you look up when people are in both these two states that I'm discussing with you, they say it's dangerous. And also they said, let me read this to you guys right quick. It says the psychiatric conditions, disorders like schizophrenia, which is associated with increased resting delta power during wakefulness, have been linked to abnormal delta wave patterns. Now, something with people that have schizophrenia, they're in that state as well. Now, whether they ingested black mold or not, or whatever else the case is, by taking time out to sit within and learn what the cause and effect is, right? And I'm saying this because what I was experiencing, if I had allowed the doctor to come in and examine me, it was a psychiatrist. If I had allowed him to come in and speak to me, he could potentially have diagnosed me with something. Since I had already knew that it was black mold, I refused to speak to the psychiatrist. I ingested black mold. I need time to detox my body so I can return to not seeing these hallucinations. And just like I had my theory about this, when I was allowed time to allow my body to detox without no medication, I was able to return back to um, the beta state. There's a lot of information out here regarding people that have been in similar situations like me that have become aware on what's happening, or they have a theory on what happened to them, right? So I think it's important that this message get out there into the world so people can do the research for themselves. this is something that you're going to have to put two and two together. You're going to have to actively be looking for potential situations such as black mold, ingesting black mold, um, the different states of consciousness, and trying to put the pieces to the puzzle together. And you can also get to this dangerous state of mind through like drugs, like taking drugs. What I found interesting is it talks about people that are able to achieve this state through like a meditative act that they do, which I have heard that shamans, they can achieve this state through experience, that they no longer have to take like ayahuasca or San Pedro or any of the traditional medicines to get there. They're able to achieve this through just constantly training themselves to get to this point. And when they reach it, they have had so much experience in getting there that they have learned how to work out what they're experiencing, right? But when we get there in a dangerous situation, such as what I did, the goal is not to be in that type of state for long periods of time. Because from what I experienced, it was damaging. You know, that's not normal to be like that for so long. So that's my take on it. That is all for now. Ashe.